Hello everyone, this is a Nomad 1 versus 1 between Spyridon and Snooze, who I believe is Flames. Um, so this is Japanese versus Nubians. Anybody who knows about this game already is aware of how powerful Japanese are in this game because Japanese get the cheapest farms out of every other nation. Also, Japanese farms collect 13 food instead of 10 food for any regular farm. On this side, Spyridon is Nubians, and his power is that he can make market right from the start of the game. He can start selling and buying resources already, and he gets 50% extra resources on the rare resource if he's collecting them. Looks like he is going for market instead of farms. You have a choice. You can either spend your wood on farms, on market. He is doing a compromise by making a market so that he can start using horses and get a 15 food from horses. I will not comment whether this is a good idea or not. I think as long if he gets good ruin bonus, then it's not bad. Actually, look at that. He already has 4 farms. That's fast. That's very fast. He might be able to. Yeah, he will be able to parallel the Japanese power. And even if he doesn't have as good a start as a Japanese player, I think he will be able to catch up. But the Japanese player has got diamonds on his side. Diamonds is great. There is no denying one of the best rares in this game because it gives you 20 wealth, and it also gives you a 10% raise on your commerce limit. So you, instead of 100 commerce limit, you get 110. Hey Viet fam, it depends how long this game is. I only have 1 hour. So if this game is not too long, then I'll be casting one more game. And this is Australian Outback, by the way. Australian Outback has land in the center and water all around the map, which means that the players would like to go on water as soon as possible, because when you go on water you can start fishing. Fishes are worth both food and wealth compared to farms, which only give you food, so you would rather go and start fishing. Japanese have a bonus there as well. For the Japanese players, they get a 12 food and 12 wealth instead of the regular 10 for any other civilization. So Japanese are just too good for this kind of game, and that's one of the reasons why I'll expect Rise of Plebs in the Rise of Plebs tournament. Everybody will ban Japanese. Actually, if I have to be accurate, then I think Japanese are not as strong on water maps as they are on land maps, because on water maps every other nation can get their food through water, so the Japanese power isn't as useful. So if there's any players looking for tips, I would say ban other nations on water maps like Egyptians, because they are going to be much more stronger for a water map instead of Japanese. Even China would be strong on water map, because if you have so much wealth, you will be able to do that science research early, because Chinese get cheaper science. And nice raid by Spyridon. He used his villager to send the merchant back, but Snooze did not want to take this out exchange. He just garrisoned it inside and now put it in bad. I think Spyridon is waiting here. He will send somebody again. By the way, I have to give it to Spyridon. Excellent scouting. He already has most of the map scouted compared to Snooze, who has no idea what's on this side. He has just found horses. I think he should try to attack that. So commerce, civic first for Spyridon. He's getting a city. Next he's going for commerce. This is unusual. By the way, Snooze is getting barracks here. This cannot be good. Actually, in the Rise of Plebs tournament and even Nomadium tournament that happened early in March, it's forbidden to kill or take any opponent city unless you have aged. However, these kind of raids are completely allowed. A commerce one followed by science one is allowed. So I think Spyridon is going to be startled by this. He is not expecting, and and this is the worst thing that could happen to you. If your opponent is raiding you and he finds your half finished city, that's that's about the end of the game for you. Hey Alan and HNC. Yeah man, that's really bad. I don't know. um I mean, assuming Snooze is Flames, then Flames and Spyridon are about the same level. Previously, Spyridon, I would say Spyridon was very good, but Flames has improved a lot. And at this point, it's going to be very difficult for Spyridon to survive. He is building a barracks though, but in case he has to delete the city, that's going to be bad because he will lose resources. He's also late on water compared to. Oh man, I just realized Snooze is away from water, so he has to get that civic before he can start using the water. So without water, I think it's alright. And Spyridon's barracks also get spotted. This is just so unlucky, man. This is just so unlucky, but it will get finished. The sad thing is the Spyridon does not have enough resources to make. He just sold food so that he could get metal for making archers. You know, all these things are why raiding is so effective. And I can't believe Snooze just let go of the city. He should have continued raiding. He was doing fine there. But seriously, nice raids by Snooze. He's also building his second city here. Oh, he did not need to build a city there. I think he should have built a city here so that he would be covering more area because he was getting this water anyway. Even he had water anyway. He didn't need to build this city in a weird place. He's not effectively covering a lot of map that I think he should have. Now Snooze is just going to other rare resources that he scouted because he's expecting the Nubian player will be there. Eco is back on track for Spyridon, 80-90 versus 83-90, so it's alright now. And Spyridon is and look at that. This is experience. Spyridon knew that there'll be a woodcutter camp coming there. He sent his bowman to stop. So even if it's not going to make much difference, but it's going to delay the making of this woodcutter camp. That's more than enough sometimes. A tower being built by Snooze. Now this is going to be a very effective tower that will allow Snooze to start sieging the city and have this tower backing him up. Spyridon obviously has no idea that there's a tower being built there. Snooze sent these archers assuming that he would be able to sandwich this bowman, but said that he got sandwiched instead. Spyridon will kill his archers now. That was a waste of unit, but Snooze did not see that coming for sure. And Snooze also has these slingers which are not doing much. Also guys, remember, if you're picking nations, Nubians are also strong, especially if you can manage to get enough rare resources in your territory. It's much better in a 2 versus 2 than a 1 versus 1 because you have bigger maps, so you have more rare resources. Oh man, really successful raids here. Spyridon, and I cannot believe that Snooze did not go for Commerce 2. I just assume these days that everybody is going to go Commerce 2. Instead of wasting wood on science, he is making Trireme to raid on water. On this side, Spyridon went for science and he's waiting for something. He could be going classical age already, but he's not clicking it yet. I think he's waiting for Snooze to age so that he can get a cheaper age. Nice one from Snooze. Another raid coming on Amber, and let me tell you, Amber is a superb rare for Nubians because Nubians already have cheaper exchange rates, and with Amber now they get even cheaper exchange rates. Oh man, in fact, I would say Spyridon should have gone commerce too, because this being a water map, he gets a lot of wealth, and you combine that extra wealth with Amber and the Nubian market bonus, he could have purchased so much food that he could be on about the same time as Snooze. But yeah, no extra research was done here. I don't know why Spyridon delayed the, probably yeah, because of the cheaper one. But this is also going to be very important. I would, in such a map setting, the best way to kill your opponent is to go military 2 as soon as possible, get despotism, and pool all of your militia. That's all you need, man. If you have enough militia, you can take this city, because this is very less distance. Even if Spyridon manages to get attrition, this is not too much distance to cover with attrition on. Senator coming from Snooze. Spyridon doesn't realize that he has a tower in his territory which can be bribed. That's the Senate. So he's building his Senate in a place so that it's going to be an obstruction for the opponent to try to take this city. That's a very good idea. So the opponent will eventually either have to destroy the Senate, or it will have to go around it, which is not favorable. Second military being done right now. Both of them are doing fine. Spyridon is just getting his senator compared to Snooze, who is already ready. I would have expected an attack to come already, but did not happen. But the water raids are going on. Snooze has upgraded his warships, and all light and heavy ships have been upgraded, so he's going to make it difficult for Spyridon to fish. Both of them have about similar ecos, nothing to worry about. Now I see that Spyridon has not used his senator. This is an advice to the newbies. The moment you get your senator, first thing you should do is scout the opponent. Use the ambush mode, scout the front base, because that's where you will get to know whether he's attacking you or not. For example, there's a tower here that Spyridon does not know about. He would find that out. Oh, look at that. He actually did that. Very nice one. Very nice one. Now, he also sees a siege factory. So, this is a valuable piece of information, because when you know that the opponent is building siege factory, unless he's a big noob, he is going to attack with the siege factory. So, it gives you a cue to prepare your defenses. Now, it's a very weird place to be putting buildings. I think these are too far behind, but that's Spyridon's choice. He's building his stable barracks. I understand that he wants to build these buildings behind so that they don't get destroyed by the siege, but that's still too far behind, even for reinforcement. Spyridon has these units here. Maybe he has some plan for these. In any case, science 2 being done here, and third city already here. Third city for Snooze is also coming, but in a weird place. I would have loved to see the third city here or here. Nice raids. The eco is about the same. Spyridon is not building more scholars, so he is lagging behind in terms of knowledge. Nice raids by Snooze on water. Snooze is denying a lot of... He has already killed 2 fishing boats for now. Oh, and check this out. Check this out. Really nice one. Really nice raids, man. And Spyridon is not focusing there. I think he's focusing on the water, and he doesn't realize that he's being raided on the land by both the cataphract and this. Now the city is also being sieged. So another good thing about leaving some space behind your city is that you can build towers. So I don't know if Spyridon did that intentionally or not, but this space could be used to spam towers. Nice pride there, but Spyridon's eco is still suffering. Hey Phantom. And 72 population limit for Snooze versus 57 for Spyridon. Actually, if you want to know how to beat your opponent, population limit is a great indicator of how strong your army is. So in H2, if you already have a population limit of 75, unless you've been spamming scholars, I think this is a good enough army. So 61 versus 75, Spyridon will have to pool all of his militia to attack, and he doesn't even have militia. I mean, he doesn't even have militia researched. Now at this point, Snooze is just keeping Spyridon busy. I think his plan is to reduce the city and then age, upgrade his units, and the moment he upgrades, he'll just run in here. Meanwhile, Spyridon could also be aging. He's not too far behind, but his eco has taken a hit. This was an amazing attack by Snooze on water. Still, Snooze's heavy cavalry has not been defeated yet. And Spyridon is going to bribe it. I don't think it's a good idea to go send the senator to bribe it, because that's just a half-dead cataphract. It could be killed by even a light horse. Meanwhile, if Snooze attacks with this army, the senator's healing and the armor bonus will be missed. A tower coming on this side. I think Spyridon is planning to click on that H button very soon, but his food income is completely shattered, man. Nice raids by Snooze. And Snooze is also using copper, so he's getting stronger ships. Spyridon should have realized that the copper is being used. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for now. Unit upgrades coming. Let's see. Spyridon has also aged. Oh, that is sneaky, man. Snooze wanted to use the peacock right in his territory. He wanted to get that extra population limit. Does Spyridon know about it? Oh, Spyridon does not know about it. So this merchant will deploy and it'll give him extra 7 population limit. Amazing. That is super play there. Even though Snooze is not going to need that anyway, he has this Colossus. Now Snooze is just spamming these units. He's making more stables. No, I don't think. I think Spyridon needs a great luck right now in order to win this game. It's not out of his hands, but his eco has been shattered and he cannot do much at this moment. Actually, equivalent armies. It's just Spyridon's army is compressed, so you can't see it very well, but that's still a great army. Militia research has been done. No tower. I'm surprised there is no tower behind the city. (92) population versus 71. That's a big difference, and I think this is a very bad time to be building a wonder. But at the same time, this might be his only chance to build a wonder, because in case he is able to defend this attack, then this wonder will help him in the late game. He should work on his eco though. 120 food at this age is not very good, and the water rates continue from flames. No more units being produced by Spyridon. Oh man. Extra. Oh, and Flames is going to go with this castle. When this castle completes, he will get the tactics upgrade. and I mean after the military level 3. So this is a great chance. I don't think Spyridon stands a chance in this game. But really well played by Flames. And check this out, all the units are attached to the city so that Flames cannot take the city. Very nice move, very nice move. He did not move any of his units, and Flames should, I don't know what I don't realize what happened. Spyridon researched the religion upgrade right on time to prevent city capture. Now Flames should try to destroy Napata. I think he has a great chance even now, but he should have taken this city if this city was reduced. Oh, that was a very bad exchange, man. That was a very bad exchange. Even he's just lucky that Spyridon did not have a big army, else that was horrible. And now Spyridon has lost most of his army. He is building more units though. He's got the resources. The only problem is that he does not have as good economy as Flames. Is he going to move the cap? He should be moving the cap. No, man. That's it. And there goes the capital. I can't believe Spyridon did not move it. He just put down the Senate, but it's too late. He should have expected that. And with that cap sag, the game is over. Here comes the GG. Let's see, economy wise, Snooze was ahead all the time, and thanks to the water raids, because of the water raids, Spyridon could never get his food income up. Also military wise, Spyridon built more units, but it was just that they were not together, so units sent separately do not count as effective. And now, since I have time, I'll be casting one more game, so give me a minute. So here we are in the second game. Oh, by the way, let me change the scorecard. Since I'm not sure he's Snooze or Flames or not, I'll just assume that he's Snooze. Okay, yeah, if he's Australian, then I think it's either Kron or Flames. That's the only two Australian people who play Rise of Nations. This time Snooze has still managed to grab the center. I don't remember who ran into whom last game, but it looks like this time Spyridon built where he spawned, and Snooze came a little towards the front so that he could get more of the land. And with China, it's actually a good idea because this Chinese start with big cities. The large cities are good for border push. He is extremely lucky he got this wood patch, because without this wood patch he would be in extreme trouble. Now last game we did not see any library rares, but this time we already have 2 library rares. First for Spyridon, Papyrus for whoever is lucky enough to get it. But let's be honest. I think Snooze will get that because Snooze has a better terrain. He can put down his city here, and he'll get Papyrus. Even if Spyridon puts down his city there, that Papyrus is too far away. The only way Spyridon can get that Papyrus is if Snooze does not discover that, and he doesn't care to build his city towards the Papyrus. That's the only reason. No, Flames has discovered that. And I have to give it to Spyridon for his excellent scouting. Even the last game he had more ruin bonus, so he is definitely an expert in that scenario. This game Copper is not going to be very useful because Copper gives you extra hit points on dock units and factory units. I would never use Copper on a land map unless I'm very low on metal, or I don't have any other good rares to use. That's for Flames in this game. He's got tobacco, peacocks. Maybe he will use Copper. It's up to him. So Mayans on this side, and let me tell you guys, Mayans are very good in Nomad. Even in Standard, I don't think Mayans are bad. It's just that they are not as good as some other great nations. Now Spyridon is going for Civic directly, and he is planning to build this city here. Good move. The only problem being that he'll still not be able to cover Papyrus. Commerce from Snooze. That means he will get the market done very soon. And nice one by Spyridon. He's got his city, Commerce 1, Commerce 2, everything done. Meanwhile, Snooze is just getting his Civic 1 done. And now I am trying to think whether it's a great build order, because while getting Commerce 1 assures that you start with a market, it does deny you the early city. And even if you get Commerce 1, remember that you cannot max out your 100 food unless you get the city. So in this case, Spyridon was able to get his market late, so the loss for him would be the wealth that he could have accumulated. But on the bright side, he has his city already, he has covered more land, and he is already in condition to build farms. So I'm starting to think that getting Civic 1 followed by Science 1 then Commerce 1 is a way better strategy than going Commerce 1, assuming that nobody is going military on either side. And look at that, man, he's already at 100 eco versus 80-100 for Snooze. So this might be a new meta in Nomad very soon, especially for Rise of Plebs player. If you're looking at it, this may be your time to shine. With his first, now he also gets to get cheaper military. Snooze already has these Papyrus, so he will get dirt cheap science. 108 wood only. That's amazing, man. Already towered here. And the sad part is that Spyridon cannot even build a city around it to get this in his territory, because there is just no place for him. A second Civic, oh my god, a second Civic coming from Flames. This will be interesting. This will be really interesting. A second city coming here with this tower around it, and Spyridon has no clue that Flames is going for a second city. And in fact, if there are nations that can go for the second Civic, I think the Mayans and Chinese, they are the two of those nations that can go for early Civic 2, just because Chinese start with large cities, so they cannot be taken out easily, and Mayans have stronger cities, so they cannot be taken out easily. That's a very strong move. Yeah, I like this from Flames. Spyridon is aging, and I think for Spyridon cannot take on this city. There is no way he can attack the city. It's There's just too much obstruction here. There's a tower here. There's just big mountain. So this is also a lucky part on Flame side that he does not have to deal with attacks. This mountain is a natural barrier. If there is anything that Flames has to worry about is the city of Beijing, and he's already aware that this city is going to be more vulnerable, so he's put down a lookout here. Colossus. Now this is a very nice counter for what has been done by Flames. If Spyridon cannot kill him early because of the terrain, he can take advantage of how slow Snooze is because of that second Civic, and now he can make his Colossus. This is a very smart move right here. Yeah, that's a nice move actually. Also getting Senate on this side. Now I must say that Flames has been lucky with the rare resources. He is able to hog all the rares in the map. Let's see. Actually there's 5 rares in the map, and 4 of them are in Flames territory. The only rare Spyridon has got is Furs, which is not a bad rare at all. Furs is nice, but then if you compare Furs versus Papyrus, Peacocks, Tobacco, and Wool, yeah, there's no way Furs would beat that. So the only chance for Spyridon would be to build Wonders and try to outboom Snooze here. Because Chinese with Papyrus, that's going to be very scary for the late game. Spyridon is scouting him, and Flames is also going to go and scout with the ambush. Nice one there. Hanging Gardens coming from Flames, and since he has Tobacco, he'll be able to finish this Wonder very fast. Economy wise, Flames is doing much better. He's got 85 knowledge income, out of which 30 is coming from only rare resources. Spyridon has got only 40, but when this Colossus completes, he'll get more wealth, so he'll be able to spam more scholars. He's also got a city here. Oh man, that's really good. Unless Spyridon reaches age 3, this is going to be a big border push by Flames here, because he's got these large cities. Oh man, come on, just finish this Wonder already. It's been going on since forever. Finally the Wonder is complete, and his wealth income goes from 44 to 87. That's a 100% increase, not 33%. And now it looks like Spyridon is in a mood to attack. 140 knowledge income versus 110, not too far behind now. But Flames has got 2 signs. Flames is already aiming for the next for the Gunpowder Age, and in fact with all these rares and Hanging Gardens, look at that, there's too much distance between the city of Beijing and Yaksuna. Also, this weird woodcutter camp is an obstruction. Then he has got attrition research, so unless Spyridon ages, he will not be able to fight here. Now Spyridon is destroying this library while this library is also researching medieval age. Let's see which one completes first. Spyridon doesn't have much army, and now I'm starting to doubt his strategy, because Spyridon always builds his buildings behind, but I would never suggest to do this when you are trying to be offensive, This is a great strategy to be defensive, but when you want to attack, now this just adds more distance between your reinforcement and you. Oh, nice, nice ambush there. He will see that the catapults are too out front, and the library research is done. So library has done its job. One more shot and the library will possibly go down. Come on, man, just shoot. Oh shit. And one more shot was needed. Nice one by Flames there. And now since he's got science 3 done, he can research this literacy. That will give him even more knowledge income. Oh man, and this cliff is going to give so much benefit to Snooze. He can siege, he can keep this city reduced all the time. $208. Oh my god, that's amazing. And Flames is going to be next stage very soon. Spyridon, I think Spyridon half-assed this attack. He should have gone all in on that attack. That was his mistake. He tried to siege it. I think he was trying to just distract Snooze while he booms in the background, but that did not work out for sure. And if I know that my opponent has an awesome rare like Papyrus, I will never try to prolong the game. That's just a recipe for suicide. And even without Colossus, Snooze is able to parallel the wealth income, about 147 versus 141. So the only advantage that Colossus is giving to Spyridon right now is the population limit and extra wood. And for population limit, Spyridon is actually utilizing it now. I'll take that back. He is utilizing it. He's at 91 population versus 79 for Snooze. And Snooze may have left this space intentionally to build a castle in case required. Now there are 4 sieges from here. It's a very good idea. It's just a bad place. Just a bad place to be building siege. To be sieging. A castle. Oh man, I really wish that Spyridon just went for the city of Beijing. That would be perfect. Because this place is just too restrictive. Oh, he already has a castle in a very weird place. What is that castle for? Is it to protect Beijing? I'm not sure right now, but anyway. Four sieges, population limit of 94 versus a population of 83. Hey, Immaculate. Also, Flames has an amazing eco, 200 everything. He's got double the knowledge income. Spyridon is nowhere near aging. Flames will click up very soon. A nice one there. Flames is using his siege to kill something. This is a great time. In fact, Spyridon should have made some stables and barracks here. Time to go, man. Time to go because Flames is about to age. Oh, and as I said, the terrain. This is just not a good place to be fighting for Spyridon. Another problem is, as I said, he does not have barracks or stables here, so there is no way he can get quick reinforcement. His reinforcement is coming from all the way across. This is the longest distance possible for him. Meanwhile, yeah, that's a great army. 91 versus 95. So Spyridon is not using the Colossus power anyway. Hey, Prolis. Yeah, that's a good idea, man. I think he should be maxing it out at least 120 and then going. The attack on Beijing would have been the best because Beijing is clearly a easy target, relatively easy target than the city of Urumqi. And remember, Chinese infantry also have a higher range, 10 range. I mean, compared to the light infantry, so they have about the same range as archers, but they are better than archers. That's a very good number of siege units. I really wish they were targeting the right city, and this would be GG for Flames. 98 versus 97. Now Flames is leading. Flames does have peacocks, and let's see if Spyridon knows. Spyridon knows that Flames has peacocks, so he should expect Flames to be able to max out 110 population, while Spyridon can max out 150. Another thing that Spyridon was missing, it was the tactics upgrade. Flames has that, and now Flames has aging. Oh man, I think that was shocking for Spyridon, or maybe he should have expected it actually, because the opponent is China with Papyrus and Hanging Gardens. And 3 spies from Flames, a very nice technique. He gets, let's see how many did he get. I think he got at least 2 spies conversions there. Oh yeah, Phantom is right. Chinese infantry are really good in this case because there is no other ranged unit that can counter Chinese units. The only thing that you can do against Chinese units is cavalry. Oh man. And look at that, +2 range. These heavy fire lances have 12 range versus 10 of arquebusiers. So they have an extra 2 range compared to both the crossbows and the arquebusiers. That's why these are really good. Oh man, just a really bad fighting area. This is an amazing choke point to and Flames is now, even for Flames, I don't think Flames should be attacking the city. The only reason he would attack the city is that he has just too much extra army compared to Spyridon. Because for Spyridon it's going to be even easier to defend this city. He can make towers behind it in a place where the cannons cannot reach. Oh man, very well played by both the sides. For Snooze, he did great with his boom. With Spyridon, as I said, his game was going great. All he needed was to attack the city of Beijing. That city was just not the good target. I understand that he went there for Akalan because Flames was sieging the city, but I think just putting some towers behind and putting a little bit of army behind would have been enough because of the choke point. Also, not to forget that Flames had 4 rare resources versus Spyridon with just 1 resource. So that's it. That's a 2-0 victory for Snooze against Spyridon, but in both the games Spyridon had some disadvantage. It beat rare resources. Actually, I think the second game Spyridon was a much bigger disadvantage than the first one. The first one was somewhat fair. It just, he made some mistakes and Flames raided really well. Remember, Flames has recently improved a lot in Nomad, And I can imagine 1MA being a great clan for Nomadium 2, which will come next year. We will be seeing amazing games again. Thanks guys, that'll be it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. I do have an interesting game that I'll be fast forwarding in case anybody would like to watch this. This was played between me and Red Bull just now, and here is a good strategy to beat an opponent when you know the opponent is going to boom. So this was standard 1 versus 1 on Great Sahara. Red Bull was Egyptians, I was Mayans. I at least according to me, Egyptians are far better than Mayans. And Red Bull did have some nice rares. He got sugar here. He got amber and tobacco. Tobacco is only good if you are building wonders. Else it's just extra knowledge and wealth. So this game is a fair. I think this is a fair comparison because both of us got exactly the same number of resources, rare resources. Initially I got more, but then he caught up, and he started with his Egyptian build order, 7 farms, commerce first instead of civic 1. Then he built the city. This is very risky build because if the opponent is going for ancient rush, it can ruin you completely. On this side, I noticed that Red Bull has not built his city yet, and there's another build order that goes with Egyptians, is that instead of building a city, you just skip city in age 1, you go age 2 and start raiding directly. So I went for civic 2 and I built the city. Remember guys, I said that if there's 2 nations that are really good at civic 2 in age 1, that's going to be Chinese and Mayans because they're defensive. Persians are also good, but more in standard, because in standard Persians get extra food. In Nomad, I don't think it would be a good idea to go extra civic with Persians. Now Red Bull made hanging gardens, and this was the clue for me that I have to kill early because I won't be able to kill him in a long game. Anyway, Egyptians are going to be stronger than Mayans. So the first thing in this game I did was not raid at all. Intuitive, because you would think that you would try to raid as much, but I let him raid. I let him spend his eco on raiding me while I just prepared for a flawless eco here. I went Despot so that I could scout him, because Despot gives you a higher line of sight. That is great for scouting. Here he is trying to raid me. There's one horse archer that's dead. Also, to raid Mayans, you have to be very careful because the city's fire, so it's already difficult to kill a lot of units. He did get a few of my units there. He also got my diamond merchant. Red Bull raids with light cavalry, which is very effective. Light cavalry are just they just don't do as much damage, but light cavalry are great in the sense that you can run away with them easily. Now here's Red Bull with Senator, and he's already aging. He's got 100 knowledge compared to my 70. The only reason I reached 70 is because I knew I have to match his knowledge income, assuming he has hanging gardens. And Red Bull is doing he's touting every rare because he's thinking that I'll go come with raids, but in this game I just forfeit raids completely. I decided there's no point of raiding. I'll go directly for attack. So I built 2 sieges, and the first thing is I want to kill his stable and barracks, so that I want to kill it so that I can get the plunder from these and I can make more units. So this is an initial investment or resource on units. This is just to guard my siege. Now when this stable is dead, I'll receive some resource. When the barracks is dead, I'll receive more resource, and I'll use those resources to make more buildings. Meanwhile, I sent a heavy infantry here to disrupt any eco on this side. And while this is a very good place to be attacking, but I know that he has his stable and barracks here, so he will be more likely to protect this city than that city. Now you can see Red Bull is ready to age. In fact, he can click right now, but he won't because he would rather spend on army than aging. And one important thing I noticed, I did not send my whole army to take this city. I just sent 3 heavy cavalry infantry so that the rest of my army can defend the sieges. And there he is. He ages. On this side, I am not very close to aging, but when I'm going despot, I have to go commerce 2 before aging so that I can come close to his 200 eco, which he had before, no more because he just lost his city. And another thing what you want to do is when you are taking a city, repair that. Now this city is somewhat repaired, so it'll give me more time and I will assimilate that eventually. He's trying to take this city back, but I am researching religion. Because of that extra repair time, I will make it. And even though I don't have my units upgraded, because I have this city which is firing, it's just an extra help. I also bring spies because sometimes your opponents just forget about spies, especially when they're in so much distress. They don't make scouts. Now what Red Bull is lacking here is he still has a chance in this game, but he does not have a castle, which I have. So I will eventually get armor and I'll be able to kill him. Meanwhile, some raids at the back. I should have known that he's also using diamonds here. No. And that was it. So if you know that your opponent is going to boom, do not spend time, do not raid more, because a wonder like Hanging Gardens can give your opponent a big head start. Even if your opponent is not building Hanging Gardens, he's building something else, and you don't think that you're going to be in a great situation to raid, just don't raid and go for an all-out attack directly. Hey HNZ, no, the city fire does not get affected by the flanking. It just gets affected by how many units are inside the city. And now that'll be the last of it. I'll be going now. Bye.